Good evening and welcome to Cat Unwrapped on another Tuesday night. Thanks to Lou for 2 hours of Kelly Country. He, of course, will be back again at 8 o'clock next Tuesday. And the song we just heard was a song called Bed and Chair by an artist from Melbourne called Spender. And I just happen to have Spender sitting here with me. I'm not sure. Do I have to actually call you Spender or can I call you by your name?
Well, that's my surname.
Yeah.
So you just call me whatever you want. Like at school, everyone just called me Spender. Like, Spender!
Okay. We'll keep
Stop doing that.
We'll keep your first name secret then, shall we? Just between us.
I think I just said it. We'll see if they're listening out there and see if anyone calls up and says, I heard it.
So how are you tonight anyway?
Yeah, I'm wonderful.
That's good.
I'm enjoying being out here in Ballarat. I don't often get out this way, so it brings back a lot of good memories actually.
Have you been doing many live shows lately?
I have. I've been doing that wonderful thing you do when people that you respect and look up to in turn support you by saying, why don't you support me on this tour? So I had an incredible stroke of honour and fortune to be asked to do the national support tour for a band called Mamakin, which is...
that's John Butler's wife.
John's wife, otherwise known as Mamakin. So we just did the national tour, and that was about 3 months on and off of touring, which was just so exciting to get out there and meet her audience. And it was the entire show, tour was sold out, so that was great to be in front of great audiences and really... like a listening audience, like a real sort of appreciative listening music audience, which was such a nice change from sort of having to bash it out at a pub or a loud club or something, which is kind of what I've done in my past bands. And I got to perform solo, which was a challenge that I really enjoy, but it is challenging because you can't blame people. You have to sort of take it on the chin when you don't have a good show or something. Yeah, so that was a couple of months of my life, and I've just had a bit of a break to sort of get this EP out, and then in August I'm back off again, touring nationally with Claire Bowditch.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if there was any chance you would be supporting the Basics.
That would be awesome. Actually. No, I should have called Wally and said, hey, do you need a support band?
Yeah, because you have Wally DeBacker or Goyte appearing on one of your songs on your EP.
Yeah, he sang a song of mine called Hotel Home, which I put on there because a big part of what I do and what I want to continue doing and what I've been doing for the last sort of 4 or 5 years is producing other people's music. And I really enjoy sort of taking that step back and listening and suggesting and kind of being that sort of overarching creative collaborator, as opposed to like I'm the artist in the spotlight, this is me singing. So I'd created a piece of music and written the song and was looking for other artists to start performing them because I wanted to put out my music with not just me singing it. So I called Wally, and he was a friend that I'd met a few years ago, and we'd had a couple of great little musical moments in our history, and he was more than happy to do the song. And funnily enough, we recorded it literally 2 weeks before his single, Somebody That I Used to Know, came out. So
all right.
I went over to his studio with all my gear, and as we were packing up, I was like, so I'm really excited. I can't wait to hear your record. He's like, oh, yeah, I know. I'm really excited. And I've been working on it for 4 years. And I said, I've been working on this for God knows how many years too. And then I guess, it will be out soon. He said, the first single's out in 2 weeks. I was like, great. Well, look, I'll get back to work on this and I'll send you some stuff and we can bounce some ideas back. And then 2 weeks went by and bang.
Yeah.
Exploded.
Yeah.
And I just watched him just go from strength to strength. It was so exciting to follow the journey kind of with him and sort of have that song sitting there and just sort of thinking I should probably sit on this for a while and let him do his thing and not try and sort of get this out there. And I was in no rush either. I had other artists that I wanted to work with. So it was kind of perfect timing just as he kind of had finished that wave of that song and is starting to sort of do his other projects like the Basics, as you just mentioned. For me to put this song out and to not feel like I'm infringing on his creative sort of output either. So, yeah.
I guess one of the big questions is, have you actually spoken to him since?
Of course we have. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I've heard he is a really nice, down-to-earth guy.
That's the frighteningly amazing thing about Wally is he's still he doesn't seem to have been in any way sort of, people I think assume when you sort of reach that level of success that you're going to turn into kind of an arrogant, bastard with no time for anyone, and you sort of forget your friends and your history. But to the opposite, I would say, with Wally. If anything, he's coming, wanting to support and bring sort of attention to where he came from, all the stuff that he's been doing with slam music and petitioning the government to keep like community radio and digital radio on the air.
Yeah.
That's an amazing...
Which is paying off, thank God.
Exactly, that's the mark of a true kind of community-minded person,
Yeah.
That's a rare thing, I think.
Well, if it wasn't for community radio, a lot of artists in Australia just would never get heard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think community radio is one of the most exciting things that's just not appreciated as much as it should be, but it's getting there in Australia.
I find it exciting.
Yeah.
Thank God.
You were doing star jumps when I came into the studio to warm up for this interview.
Yeah. Well, you're going to do a couple of acoustics for us, but I'm assuming that you're not going to do the Goyte one.
I could if you want. Would you like that one?
Well, I was going to say maybe we should play that and let people hear.
Yeah, sure, on my version.
Singing.
Yep.
So I'll let you board announce it and we'll put that on.
Okay.
And you can grab your guitar while it's playing.
All right then. So what do I say?
Introduce your song.
Oh, introduce forward announce. I'm not up with the lingo. I'm not up with the lingo. Hi, you're listening to my new EP, Modern Pest, and this is a track titled Hotel Home via Wally, or I should say actually via Goyte. He's done the lead vocals on this. Enjoy.
And you are back on 99.9 Voice FM with Kat and Spender. And that was Spender Hotel Home we just heard featuring Goyte. How cool.
Beautiful voice.
Are you going to make a video for that?
Yes.
Is he going to be in it?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I'm,
You're hoping.
We actually have just been discussing it the last sort of week. And it's looking like it's going ahead, which is great.
So maybe when he's over here touring.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I just said just to give you guys just a brief insight. I just swore that I was not going to say and I think I've already said it 3 times. We're talking about the art of good radio, people, and I'm just making a mess of it.
That's okay. I'm sure they'll forgive you. There's not many of them out there listening who wouldn't do the same thing.
That's right.
In your position.
I thought it would be interesting to just give you a quick insight into the recording of that song, because when I sent the demo to Wally, he's obviously a very busy man, as we all are, but he was particularly busy at that point because his record was sort of just about to be done and released and all that sort of thing. So I sort of didn't hold out a lot of hope for him having learnt it sort of inside out by the time we'd booked the recording date. It's quite a challenging thing to learn someone else's song and to really bring a performance and all the inflections and subtleties to make the vocal come alive. So I thought that the recording would be us sort of going through all those nuances and things. And we got out, we booked the date and I went out to his house and we set up the microphone and everything and we had a bit of a chat. And when we got down to pressing record, he didn't need the lyrics and he just sang the song perfectly, take after take.
Yeah.
It was remarkable. It was so inspiring to think that he had taken on doing something like that for someone else and also had put the time in to really learn the song and to breathe life into it. It was a real incredible moment for me thinking, wow, you just have to make the time for things in life and in music.
Well, you mentioned breathe life into it. I was going to ask if it changed when he sung it compared to what you'd written it as or envisioned it as.
Absolutely. Yeah, he brought some really interesting inflections that were just, very Wally to it, which was so exciting to hear. The way, just slight phrasing, and he had some really nice melodic ideas. And at the very beginning, there's a sort of a stacked harmony sort of motif, which he kind of just ad-libbed and we liked and got him to work on. So yeah, he's a very responsive musical sort of idea person. So it was great collaborating almost on that.
You are going to perform an acoustic for us right now, aren't you?
Absolutely.
And you're going to do your single, which we did hear at the start of the show, but you're going to do it acoustically.
I thought it'd be interesting to do it with an acoustic guitar and just strip away all of the production and the bells and whistles, and to try and deliver it as a song, as a man and a guitar with a microphone in a radio station.
Great.
See how it goes.
So, this is Spender with his single Bed and Chair.
In a room with no windows, there's no sunset or sunrise. Nothing remains of the world you've left outside. You're looking through cracks that form beneath doors. You live with an image burning in your mind. You in a room with a bed and a chair. You can sit or lie, but there's nowhere to stare. Nowhere to stare. You in a room with a bed and a chair. You can sit or lie, but there's nowhere to stare. Nowhere to stare. This is a room. You listen to them, those people outside living their lives. 'Cause you are the coal, all burning and black, digging for diamonds, staring through cracks. You in a room with a bed and a chair. You can sit or lie, but there's nowhere to stare. Nowhere to stare. You in a room with a bed and a chair. You can dream of your life and pretend that you're there. Nowhere out there. Oh, in this room I'll write to you, my dearest friend, mechanical. I'm nothing but a hungry animal. In this room I'll write to you, my dearest friend, mechanical. I'm nothing but a hungry animal.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
It was nice to hear that song in a totally different light.
Yeah, it's funny. I only worked it out because I wrote the song quite a few years ago, and I wrote it in a computer and with lots of layers of guitars. And I was in Sydney and I had to do a live performance of it, and I was staying at my sister-in-law's house. And to get to the live performance, I had to catch a ferry. And I thought, I've got half an hour to work out how to turn that song into something that will work as just a guitar and a voice. So it's a great place to work out how to play one of your own songs on the back of the ferry going across Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Well, I'm sure the other passengers were happy to listen to it.
It was actually just a couple of seagulls, to be honest. There was no one out the back there that day. It was a bit windy.
Educating the seagulls.
Yes.
There's another CD title.
There is. We're full of them today.
See, now I just did it.
What, you said
Yeah.
There should be a jar. People, there is actually a jar here that's full of $2 coins from us saying tonight.
But no, It's infectious. I was going to give out your website address because I did think of something. Oh, that's right. I was going to say, when you were doing it acoustically, you actually listened to the words more.
Yes,
the
of
song.
course. Yeah.
So that was interesting to hear it that way and actually really listen to the lyrics.
Right. Oh, cool.
Yeah. But your website address is spender.com.au.
That's it.
You got film clips on here, have you? Or-
Yeah, I've been very busy with a very incredible filmmaker who's a good friend of mine, who's one of Australia's probably best photographers, I would say. He's done a lot of amazing, he's photographed prime ministers and famous people, and he's turned his hand to film clip making and experimented on a number of his ideas with me. So we've made 3 clips together now for this EP, which is probably a bit overkill. Most people would probably make 1 for their first EP release, but we kind of got carried away. And the first one we made had a bit of a viral moment and sort of got 35,000 plays in about 2 days,
Wow.
which was incredible. Yeah. And that's just, his whole thing is sort of making the most simple idea compelling to watch, as opposed to spending thousands of dollars on exploding firework, cake, cheerleading, helicopter film clips.
Yeah.
He would just take one idea and try and make it as interesting as possible. So the idea was that I would just sit at a table and eat an entire wedding cake, and then we reversed the footage. And so it starts with me lying face down in a plate of cake, and bit by bit I kind of uneat the cake and start looking cleaner and cleaner. And by the end, there's a little moment that tells the whole story. It's a kind of one of those every picture tells a story moments. So check it out. It's a really interesting film clip for a song called Never Again, which is on this EP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good. And if people go to spender.com.au and click on the film clip, you'll find it, which I'm sure the film clips are actually on YouTube.
Those ones on my site are on Vimeo because they look a bit
better,
cleaner. They're not all ads and stuff. So, yeah.
So
but they are on YouTube as well. The one that had the 35,000 plays is on YouTube. So you can just Google, YouTube, Spender, Never Again, and you'll find that one.
But then it's easier just to go to your website.
Yeah, that's right.
And on Facebook, you are Spender Music.
Yes.
People can go there and give you a like.
They can like me.
I'm
very likable. There we go. I just got a new like, everyone. It feels good.
Sorry, I hadn't noticed that.
That's all right.
It's done now.
That's good. I haven't liked you yet, so I mean, I like you in person, but we haven't gone there yet in the cyber world.
You haven't gone and liked my show page?
No, I will though.
Well, actually, my Tuesday night show doesn't have a page. I just use my page.
All right, that's fine.
But the Thursday night one does. You could like that.
All right.
That's Collision Voice for everyone listening on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually never give out our Facebook. We never even think about it.
So this is a day of many firsts for us both.
Yeah.
Me trying not to say
Yeah.
That's a first for me. I'm a real ummer, I reckon. Some people are shushers, like you go to a gig or a cinema and they're the people that go, shh. Well, I'm not a shusher, I'm an ummer. Yeah.
Well, we spoke a lot about Goyte's input into your EP, but you mentioned before that, was it Claire Bowditch? Not Claire Bowditch, Clary Brown.
Clary Brown. Yes, another CB, as is Claire Bowditch, who I'm going on tour with in August. Clary Brown is a very close old friend, and we've done quite a bit of music together over the years, and I wanted her to be involved. And we didn't have time for her to sing the lead vocal. She's had a lot on her plate, and it was a bit of a challenge to get that locked in. And initially, actually, I had Kimbra had performed them, and then who's a very good friend of mine, I helped her with her recording her album, Vows, and it kind of got to the point where Kimbra's vocals on the track sounded incredible, but there was a lot of hold-ups with her label and management just because she was such hot property at that time, and that she'd already done a lot of collaborations, and they wanted to just sort of focus on her being just Kimbra as opposed to, with Kimbra, which meant that I didn't have very long to sort of lock down someone else to sing. So I thought, perfect, Clary would do it, and she did, and she did a great job of it. So
she had time to do it around banging her rackets.
Yeah. I think she was actually quite sore from banging the rackets a bit too much. And she was sort of resting her weary head back in Australia after a massive, incredible tour in the US. So she's just absolutely flying at the moment. I'm so proud of her. So, yeah.
But you do have, as you mentioned, a tour coming up with Claire Bowditch.
With a different CB, yeah, Claire Bowditch in August. I'll be performing on stage with just the two of us for her Winter Secrets show, which is a kind of an interesting collaborative show. She did it last year with Lainey Lane, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's just the two of us on stage, and I'm playing guitar and singing harmonies with her songs, and she sings a couple of songs of mine, and then I do a few by myself, and we do a few with the audience, and it's a really entertaining night.
All right,
apparently.
so it's not you supporting her, it's you actually working with her.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm guessing that we're going to hear Claire Bowditch on your next EP.
I think so. I think she's just got such a stunning voice and a beautiful take on lyrics, and she's such an amazing person. I think she's definitely going to be on the next EP.
Well, I think it's time to make you work for your airtime again.
Sure, put me to work.
Yeah.
Give me a spade or a guitar, whatever it is.
You're going to do another acoustic for us, aren't you?
I'd love to.
Which one are you going to do this? Oh, you're going to do one that's not on the EP, you said.
Yeah, I thought it's a good opportunity for me to sort of let people know that I'm a producer and I work with computers and different instruments, and I play a few different instruments. But at the heart of all hearts, I love sitting down with just a guitar and telling a true story. So I've written a number of true story songs. Like I'm a huge John Cash fan. So I love that storytelling style of song. And I think as I get older, I'm going to just definitely become more of that kind of person and strip all my production back and just tell the story. So I thought if it's not too much to ask that I would, if I could do that on air and tell a true story, one of my stories, a true story for me, to all your listeners out there.
That'd be brilliant.
All right.
What's it called?
It's called The Lake.
The Lake. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is Spender with The Lake.
I couldn't have been more than 7 years old. Mama had a boyfriend that left me cold. He used to tease me about being a boy and say, I'm the man, go play with your toys. I remember the day he drove home in a car with a bullet hole straight through the door. He pointed at the hole with his broken hands and said, you lucky boy that you ain't a man. You lucky boy that you ain't no man. He knew how to bake his own bread. Grew a lot of dope in the back shed. He knew how to make mama cry. Knew how to tell her the perfect lie. And I used to hear them make love in the morning. It scared me so much I'd take it as a warning. And then my mama come and look at me and say, how's my boy doing without me? How's my boy doing without me? And I watched him swimming in the lake at night, and all I could see was his torchlight. My mama's heart, I knew he'd break, but I wish that light would fade into the lake, 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 into the lake. Now looking back on my 8th birthday, my mama's man, he left that day. I remember the wish as I blew out the cake, that I'll be her man till her dying day. 'Cause the day that he left my mama's home, gave me a gift that I still own. we planted a seed that I've sown. It says you're not a man just 'cause you're grown. You're not a man just 'cause you're grown. And I watched him swimming in the lake at night, and all I could see was his torchlight. My mama's heart, I knew he'd break, but I wish that light would fade into the lake, 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 into the lake.
That was really nice, but what does your mum think of that?
Oh, she cries a bit.
Yeah.
She's gotten used to it now because she's come to a few gigs where I pulled it out. But the first couple of times I did it, it was very... She looked over and there was tears pouring down her eyes. But I think I've done it enough now for it to be a song for other people, not for me.
Yeah.
You know, you let go of the song and it's like that. Whenever I've performed that song or when people hear that, they're just really moved by it. And I think it's just because it's just... honest, you know, when someone's really honest, even if it's not in a song, even if it's, you know, you're buying fish and chips and the person is very honest that they can't give you the kind of fish you want or whatever, that's a bad example. But I'm just trying to say that I think honesty is just such a, when it's done right, it's just such a beautiful human trait. And I think that especially in art, when people get so caught up in who they want to be perceived as, or, you know, who they like to think they are, they stop telling the truth in their music. So whenever that always gets me back to telling the truth, that song, and people respect that and appreciate it, I think. So
yeah, that's great. And so the EP, which is self-titled, Spender.
No, it's actually called Modern Pest.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Turn it over.
Turn it over.
Spender, Modern Pest.
Yes.
Do you think you are?
Do you know what? I'll give you the secret to that is an anagram of my name, Tom Spender.
Oh, right.
You know.
See, now you just told everyone your first name again.
There we go. At least I didn't say
All right. So, yeah, that's cool.
Try it yourself. I think there's a website just called anagram.com and you enter in your name and it gives you like thousands of versions. And I wasn't thinking of an album title. I was just mucking around with it one day and I thought, Modern Pest, that's hilarious. I'll keep that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so this was out last Friday.
Yes.
And it's available on your website?
It's available, should be available in your local... as a physical CD, it should be available in your local shop. It's being distributed through MGM, so that's nationwide. So
if it's not actually in there, you can still order it through MGM?
You can order it through MGM. You can order it through JB Hi-Fi for a signed copy. You can also... There's so many places to get music these days. You can purchase it digitally on iTunes. You can stream it on Deezer, which I think I get 0.001 cent every time someone plays my song on Deezer, which is another issue altogether.
Yeah, unfortunately, we could spend another half hour talking about how people aren't rewarded for their work in the music industry moment.
It's across all industries, I think. It's just that digital stuff has changed the way people receive their work, you know, their films, their music, all kinds of things, their software. It's changed, and I think we've got to sort of just feel good about it, let it go. It's an old model now, like that we get paid every time something happens. We have to sort of... The music industry, in theory, is only 60 years old, which is an infant, really, in terms of some of the other industries out there. So, you know, I'm not too down on it, to be honest. I've got plenty of hope and optimism for music and industry and artists.
Well, it sounds like you've got a really good attitude about that anyway, and you obviously just love performing live.
I do love performing live, and I love recording music. I love everything to do with music.
Well,
one thing I'm not enjoying as much, I'm finding a challenge, is marketing my music. It's a whole new hat to wear, and I feel like a novice.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of.
Except for when you get to come and do something like this.
Well, this is just this is beautiful. This is natural to just sort of have a conversation with someone and not to have to think about sort of how I come across. Just to be myself is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as you want.
I'm never gonna again, except in demonstrating that I'm not gonna Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you got some practice in.
Yeah.
Or got it out of your system in here. One or the other.
Yeah.
Whichever it works out to be. So Spender's EP Modern Pest was available last Friday, the 12th of July. And as he said, you can get it at any record store in a physical copy or on iTunes as a download. And if you go to spender.com.au, you can find all the links to buy the music.
And for hardcore vinyl lovers out there like myself, I'm excited to announce that I think it's the first week of September they're arriving. I've ordered 200 limited edition, 180 gram white vinyl records of the EP, which is I'm really excited about. It's a real dream of mine to have my music on vinyl. So yeah,
great. And you did mention that Bed and Chair's been getting a bit of Triple J airplay, didn't you?
Yeah, it's for the last 3 months. I've been playing it a couple of times a week, if not more.
Oh, great!
It was a real. I didn't quite expect it to sort of slot in so easily there. It's such a thing, to get your music there, and it changes things. So it's been wonderful to have their support.
Well,
so far.
maybe your APRA royalties will help pay for some of the in the cookie jar.
Did you take FFOS?
It has been great having you in. Thank you very much for doing the acoustic tracks for us.
An absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
You're always welcome back.
Thank you, Kat.
And which track off your EP would you like us to leave with?
I would like us to leave with, I think we should leave with a really fun song.
Yeah.
There's a song on here called Magic Man, which is a bit of slice of summery fun.
Before I do let you go, do you know which is going to be the next single?
Pretty safe to say I'm going to do the Hotel Home, because the film clip will be sort of another thing, and I thought it's rare to do 2 singles from an EP, it's apparently, I don't know, there's no real rule, is there?
It's not. You can do that.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for Hotel Home with Wally on the vocals there.
Yeah, and because Wally will be in the country, he might be able to help you promote it a bit.
Yeah, well, see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for making the trip down. It has really been good.
Thank you. Thank you so
much. And go and check out Spender at spender.com.au or Spender Music on Facebook.
Yeah, check me out. I'm like a horse. You can lift up my lips and check my teeth and check the length of my tail. Is that what they do when you're checking out a horse to buy? I don't even know why I'm talking about horses right now. It just sort of popped out.
I think the teeth have got something to do with the age.
You check the hooves and the teeth and the coat, and you can pretend that I'm a horse and that you perhaps... I'm just going to stop this metaphor right now. It's as bad as the fish and chip metaphor I came up with before.
I think there's something in the air in the studio.
I think it's coffee. I think I've had too much coffee. That's what it is.
Oh, well, you got to stay awake for the drive home.
That's right, yeah.
Thanks a lot. And
thank you.
What's the track we're listening to? Magic Man. Magic Man.
Yeah.
Which Tommy Spender is the Magic Man.
Thanks.